What's going on, Charles?
It is Friday night. It is 8 o'clock Central, so that means only one thing: Guitar Safari.
Oh my God, Charles! Nobody cares about the fucking Central Time. Give us the Pacific, and you give us the East Coast time. Sorry, dude. He's had a lot of coffee. It's Friday.
It's
Um,
he needs to you need to cut him out on the Red Bulls too.
he's exactly. He's been hooked on Red Bull since he was 4, and believe it or not, Sherman, I think he's turning 26.
Oh my!
Yeah, he needs to move out. What the hell?
Well,
So how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am okay. Better. I was okay, and I just got better.
There you go.
So,
I like that.
who
All right. Well, let's welcome in some folks. We have
right.
Dave Chase in the chat, along with Herb of Fireside Studio, Ryan of OU812. Welcome in.
Herb. Ryan.
And this guy named Seth Presley is in here,
He's
followed by Ryan Hall. He is, but Ryan Hall is.
Ryan Hall's not a dick. Ryan Hall. Hillbilly homie. He's my hillbilly homie.
Oh, and then we got Vox Guitar Rocks.
Yes.
And we've got Paul, and he says it's below zero, and all the cats are just cuddled up in the corner, keeping warm. So you gotta love it.
My mic is so good. You can hear my cat.
Kevin's Hats and Guitars is in the chat, and more on that later.
Oh yeah, dude, he is the man. He was shredding. He bought the green Telecaster.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to that. Oh wait, Brother Ben, King and Master of Tone, has blessed us with his presence. We must chime the bell. Bing! I don't have a bell.
All right, and we also have Keith H in the chat joining us, and Randy Crooks, who had been rocking out to some Steely Dan and some Styx earlier this evening. Nice. I'm a little jealous of his playlist tonight,
Hobo Roadie in the house.
Yep, Hobo Roadie. We've got BC Rich 581.
BC Rich 581 in the house.
We got Wayne McConnell in the chat and Bo, Guitar Man 45, unfucking believable, Hip Metalworks, Terry and the 3Gs.
What up, Terry? 3G shredding.
Michael Kraus.
Using a little bit of fuzz, it sounded like, Terry. Like you're fuzzing out. Not completely fuzzing out with the Strat, which I like. You know who that is? You're doing a Billy Corgan on me. Don't you go all Billy Corgan. Yeah, I get it. Black Strat will make you do that, Charles.
Well, I hope your lungs are ready because Rico B is here.
Are you ready? Hold on. Rico. Was that not amazing?
And Martian Murray is in the chat. And Unfucking Believable just wants us to know that he just demonetized
us. Yes, I appreciate that. Well, so here's the thing. You got no monetization in the first place. It's hard to demonetize me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ben says, and my cat just ran off.
Sorry, dude. He's like, meow, fuck, what the hell's happening? Sorry.
And Rico loves the reverb on that, by the way.
I had to, so that's the putting the echo to the split of delay and reverb, and then hitting this little enhance button, which does this. It gives you a little bit of smooth jazz. It sounds kind of fuzzy, a little weird. But if you have the volume dropped, it does significantly, it'll blend into a mix. Yeah. It'll help a terrible voice. No, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Yeah, man.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so we have a topic today. And so our topic is all about, do you prefer the hardtail or do you prefer the tremolo? So to tremolo or not to tremolo? And so we talked about the 2-position bridge and the two screw position bridge and the 6 screws and the Floyd and the Bigsby, and apparently we heard Ryan OU812's feelings because we didn't mention the trans
Trem. Well,
in
that's
our
a thing.
thumbnail. And, and so Ryan, just so you know, and you probably saw it in the comments already, left it out just so I could get that comment. So,
Right. Well, also because the affordability factor, right? Like you got to be able. Man, those things are. It's like driving a Tesla. Do I want one? Yes. Yes. I'll take one.
well, we might see music therapy labs in a while saying, well, what about the Vega Trem? Right. So,
That is true. I have done a Vega trim and they are amazing. But Vega trim just is a. It will go on a 2 point or 6 point trim. So it's like kind of. But we're just saying. All right. Here's another thing I wanted to throw an angle into the mix. Favorite music that you love? Guitar tone written on a hardtail or a something with a trem, right? So that might be a big part of what you play now. If you play trem or you play hardtail guitars aren't a big thing. They're more of a beginner guitar because they're cheaper to manufacture for some people, and some people love Telecasters. I wonder who. Right? But
well, here's the thing about tremolo systems, right?
mm-hmm.
Most people's first guitar is something a little bit like this, some kind of a strat shaped object.
Hold on.
Right.
How do I do? I got.
So some kind of a strat shaped object like this with a tremolo in it, right?
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, when you go and get something like this used, it doesn't have the trem arm in it. And so you buy it and you're like, well, of course I'll buy it. Am I really going to use the tremolo? So, the idea is a lot of times, we don't even use them when they're there.
God damn it. I switched this, Charles. We're in the wrong place now.
Just because you just pulled one over
I know.
like
I don't
that.
know how to. So this is why I like the hardtails.
Uh-huh.
I like the strings to go through the body, and I like the snap, like the extra little spank that I get. It's a little thing. It's not. It's like a maple fretboard versus a rosewood fretboard. It's a little thing, but I like it, and so I kind of went with it. And so I went with handcrafted, which is when you craft something that is already in pieces. You're not hand building something, you're crafting something. Crafted hardtails. That was kind of my deal. So I just, because I love hardtails, but I also do trems, which that guitar is a fantastic trem. So, what's up, Jimmy?
So a couple of things. Guitar Man 45, he was going out to buy a guitar today, and his car broke.
Oh, shit.
I was like, hey, my car broke today, so I was thinking of going out and buying a guitar over the weekend to keep my mind off it. I like that. Car broke down, so I'm going to buy a guitar to take my mind off the car. I like this. I like this logic.
Well, it might be a newer car that just has some kind of stupid shit going wrong.
Maybe.
It's always something, right? It's just.
And of course, our buddy Wayne, he says, I hate reaching for a trem and it's not there, and then I smile.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I get it. Like if you're used to doing the trem, then you really do want it there because it's one of your tools in your toolbox. If you put it down and play only a hardtail for 6 months, it'll have you play a little bit different. So there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back and forth ever from a Les Paul or a most SGs, you're playing a hardtail.
So given that Presley California Customs is mostly hardtails, right?
Kinda, but I mean, kinda. It's like a motto, but yeah. Anyway.
So, do you prefer the hardtail or do you prefer the trem?
I prefer the hardtail. Mm-hmm. Stays in tune. I don't do a lot of whammy stuff. I do a lot of. You've all heard me play. Whoever's normally hanging around. I do a lot of bending, but not a lot of accent. And I'm also a mid-range guitar player. I'm not a super high end ability. I'm not a beginner, so I'm in the middle, which is like where a lot of us are, right? I think where a lot of us are in that zone.
Mm-hmm.
which is good because that's where I do best, is right in the middle. Put me right. I'm not trying to be the most ultimate shredder because I just want to play what makes me happy, and I've kind of achieved that. Like if there's a song that I hear, like earlier today, I wanted to play. Can you hear that? That sounds good.
Yep.
What is it?
Welcome in, Jimmy. Welcome in, Bonkers.
I wanted to play that earlier today, and I was able to play that, right? So that makes me feel kind of like, oh, that's cool. That sounds like Metallica. That was kind of Metallica-ish, which made me happy. And it made Sherman loves Metallica. Sherman's like, he's just stoked whenever Metallica comes on. So,
all right. So Herba Fireside Studio says, if Hardtails are no,
well, if it tail's hard enough,
let's just say that Herb prefers a Floyd Rose.
Floyd. He does like his Floyd.
Yep. Might have to talk to the missus about that, Herb.
Sometimes at the guitar shop, I would answer the phone and say, Floyd's Roses. Especially if I was doing like 3 Floyds in a day or whatever. Sometimes there's a curse, right? And there's just Floyd after Floyd after Floyd. And I'd be like, Hobarodi? Yeah, what up for International? What's happening, my man? I said I wanted some of us to visit me at some point. Hell yes, there's 28 of us.
Well, and now according to the count, there is 34.
I grew up on 34th Street, dude. 34.
And welcome in International Insane Studios. And so he's saying hello to everybody.
Scott needs a 335 with a Floyd. Which we looked up. It exists.
It exists.
Definitely a thing.
It exists.
It should.
I questioned it. I questioned it so much.
Right. Well, now with AI, I guess they could make anything on a picture, and it would they could make it exist. That's terrible. Terrible.
Jimmy's saying hello to Hip.
Well, what is up? Happening, Hip? What is up?
Bonkers, Floyd's and Rose's appetite for de-stringing.
I thought that it'd be hilarious if I ever was had too much money. I would just open up Floyd's Roses just because. That would be hilarious. Be like, Floyd Rose, fuck, I own Floyd's Roses. And people were like, what? No, you don't. Like, yeah, here's my business card, Floyd's Roses. I would also open up Big Ass Salad. Because who doesn't want a big ass salad?
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Everybody wants it. Do you want a salad or do you want a big ass salad? I'll take the big ass salad. And it would be like a donkey with a sombrero, right? And there would be salad inside the big ass salad.
Focus.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Focus. Stop. Focus. Herb Fireside Studio says, Seth, when he goes out to Arizona to visit his daughter, he wants to meet you in Winslow, Arizona, so you guys can take a picture on the corner, and you all know the one.
Yeah.
And, of course, Fox Guitar Rocks, he's putting in for the Les Paul with a Floyd.
A Les Paul. Well, that's the easier to achieve with that MXR system that we were talking, or what is it called? Maybe it's not the MXR. It's the something. The XLM thing. You guys know what I'm saying. It's the one that just bolts on. It just goes on the studs, right? And it just becomes... This guitar's been hanging up for a month. I'm just wanting to see how far out of tune it is. Dude. Huh. I'm not bragging, and I didn't tune it earlier.
Right,
that's with the trim. The A is a little sharp.
So I'm not familiar with this, Seth. Are you familiar with it? Terry's talking about the XBR system.
That's it. That's a system that you bolt on that goes on the studs of an existing Les Paul that you can make into a.
Oh, kind of like a Duesenberg trim.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The Duesenbergs are good. I've done a few Duesenbergs. They're good. Ain't nothing wrong with a trem. Just I think that. So growing up, I would buy people's guitars that they ended up not liking for some reason, and they're like, "I don't want this one. I want this other one," and my mom got me the wrong one. And so I bought like 10 guitars that way, and a lot of them, I guess, were because they didn't have a trem. So a lot of guitars that I had as a kid were non-trem guitars.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's really funny. Like on my Strat, I never think about using the trem at all, ever. But, but with the Gretsch, I had to have a Gretsch with a Bigsby.
Well, that's a tone, right? And a look.
Yeah.
FRX.
And so Michael Krause, he saw a Les Paul routed for a Floyd. He said he should have bought it. Yes, you should have. Especially if it was routed properly, right?
So this one will stay in tune with.
Nice.
Which I like.
Yeah.
Right?
So and Floyd does call theirs the FXR, sure.
That's what. Yeah. Well, the.
We're all a letter off,
A letter backwards. I am dyslexic and forgetful, so that's a double whammy. But.
So for me, at the point where I'm in my playing, I don't think it really matters whether the guitar I have has a trem or not, because, like I said, my Strat has had, it has a trem, but I've never bothered to put the arm in it ever.
Right.
But
I would say that, like, it is nice just so, since you're at the point now where.
But it's nice to have the option, right?
Yeah, if you're practicing chords. Just mess around. Give it a little bit of ambient.
And I will confess, I have a lot of fun playing with the Bigsby on the Gretsch, as you've had to endure.
I like it, dude. Oh, dude, I wanted to tell you that the Horse with No Name was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Charles played and recorded himself, and it was really, really good doing that song. And his strumming pattern was like perfectly on. It was like I'd have to get rid of all this reverb for y'all to. There we go. It was like. Which is what you want, right?
Yeah. Well, Vox Guitar Rocks, he had his first guitar was from the Sears catalog. It was kind of like an SG clone. It had a Bigsby type trem on it.
He's lucky then. He got in it early.
Yeah. And Michael Krause is adding to his story that Les Paul was black. It weighed at least 12 pounds. It had an Iron Maiden guitar strap permanently bolted on. So he really should have bought it. Oh, you gotta love it.
The Iron Maiden guitar strap, dude, that shit's back in style, full on. Like, that's the stuff that came back around, for sure.
Vox Guitar Rocks is saying, you can't get your Jeff back on without a trem.
You can't get your Jeff back on. Right, there is some things. I can do a little tiny bit of pull-up.
Mm-hmm.
But not a whole step or even a half step. Because I decked it for stability, but this thing has the biggest block.
Yeah, that's a good size block, all right.
Mammoth jam. That's why this guitar is so heavy. This guitar will throw your back out, but super fun to play.
When you were live the other night, Ben Combs had his Patreon member meeting.
Oh my God! So you gotta remind me not to do that, because I was wondering. Oh my God, it's so empty in here, and some people were probably double watching, and they're like, "Oh, Seth, you just." But and no, then no one gifted me a membership. They were giving away memberships to everybody. Come on, man.
Once they're
Have I
gifted, it
not
just
said I'm
comes
poor?
out the order in which people comment, right? It's like if they
That's
don't have one,
bullshit.
it's just the
Just
way it
because I'm a
works. I'm sorry.
slow commenter, because if I comment too much, my wife's gonna be like, "Who are you comment? What the heck?"
But anyway, you know,
Anyway,
a
who
friend
knows
of
who's
ours,
watching now?
was showing us his guitars, and they're just gorgeous and blowing everybody's minds. And so this is what Bo is referring to. He says, "I know a fella that has a Gibson Les Paul custom with a Floyd Rose. He saw it on
Oh,
Wednesday, and it made
oh
him go
wow.
looking for one." So,
Yeah, because here's the thing. You want that tone. You got to have that tone, that Les Paul crunchy power. It's all there in your hands because you get the right pickups, right? It's right there, and it's like you feel powerful. That's the same thing with this Burgundy Sparkle Strat. That's why I want to keep it, because it's basically like a Les Paul that's a little bit lighter and more comfortable. Because those pickups, it's basically the pickups, right? And then the neck, though, and the neck is whatever. It's basically like a Strat with Les Paul pickups.
well, see, I like Wayne McConnell's style here. He says, "Charles, you would like my original cast iron gas pedal from a '33 Vicky car for a
Oh,
trim bar on his cheap Bigsby on his leather covered hollow body Norma." This is
yes,
awesome. This is just
that's what
completely
we
awesome. I
want.
love this idea.
Or one of these. This is an OG Java pedal.
Ah,
This was my dad's tone. I've showed it before. Keeley Java.
very nice.
Yeah, I only plug it in. I have the it's got a special. Oh look, number 807. And this is like OG original run. So they got the 807th Java boost made that my dad had forever, and he's like, "This, if you want to sound good, kid, get one of these." Actually, I don't think he ever called me kid, but I call kids kid. I say, "Hey, kid."
Well, Randy is taking inventory, and he says out of 21 guitars, he has 3 with tremolos.
Randy,
With
dude,
the
did we
3
just
he
become
has, he
best friends?
doesn't use them much. He's just not coordinated enough.
Well, if you have less trims, you have more room for activities, right? Because you're not doing it anyway. I'm just saying we should build some bunk beds, dude. That all like I've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hardtails, and I've got 2 trims, right? Or 8, but that's not a Presley. But anyway, I got like 8, 7 or 8, 7 or 8
So,
hardtails.
so let me ask you this, because since you prefer hardtails, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
you've got guitars with trims on them, do you use the trims on the guitars that have them?
Well, yes. When I pick them up, it's almost because I need a vacation to Tremville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if I pick up, like now I pick this guitar up and I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry for bourbon, but this beer is delicious. I feel like since I'm sitting down playing so much now, when I'm upstairs in the house, I sit down and play and through the Spark, and then I might as well play this guitar up there because it's got the trem and it's got this little bit thicker, this is a little bit thin C, almost like a extra thin C, like, but this is a little bit more rounded, and I kind of like the old guy rounded.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But it's not
Ben has
baseball
4
badish.
guitars with trims, and most of his, so the rest of his are hardtails.
Because Ben, well, Ben shreds either way, but I think that Ben has a style, right, that suits the. I know that he has a few of those pictures on his intro that definitely suit a hardtail stance, where you're like, which is like so, And then I got into one volume, one tone. That is something that my dad said. He was like, "I don't understand it. You can do everything that you want to do with one volume, one tone."
Well, it is funny because most of my guitars are
But it's not true.
well,
It's not
I have
true.
more Tellys than anything else, and they're all hardtail, right?
Yeah, they're all hardtail.
And on my on my Strats, I usually don't have the trim arms in any of my Strats either.
Are they all
so
decked?
I guess I
so
kind
they're
of
all decked, right?
you know,
Nothing is floating.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about. And Ben says he has no no clue how to use a wiggle stick. But there is something about a Gretsch. You pick it up, you want that Bigsby to be there.
I
For me,
hear
it's
you,
like
Ben.
it's not a Gretsch without a Bigsby.
Well, yes, and there's a look to it, but there. So I actually looked up. You know who's funny? The guy, and he's good at what he does. Guitar Max. Have you seen Guitar Max?
Yeah.
Long hair dude,
Oh yeah,
muscles. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
he used to be a
With all the
bodybuilder.
muscles and yes, the guy that can't make up his mind whether he wants to be, like a gym guy or a guitar guy.
Well, he's also a pilot.
Of course.
So it means and we have a lot in common. You know, I was a hang glider pilot forever, and it means he's crazy. Anyway, he is good at the trem, like really good at the trem, and then good at hammering on and all that. I watched a few of his videos, and I found them to be like useful just watching his playing because it's if you just kind of follow what he does for a couple of notes. I don't know. I suck at trim, and I should have played trim for a week or something before tonight.
Ben, that comment was for your benefit.
Oh, Ben, that it was supposed to come back today, and now it's coming back Monday. But that's my latest update. As long as I'm getting fucking updates and it's coming back to America, that's a good sign. So
No,
anyway, we're on the right
time,
track.
huh?
Yeah, it's been a long journey here with this guitar.
I like this.
I put the neck in on 11/11.
Uh-huh.
That was the date that the neck went in on that guitar
Mhm.
when it was dubbed for Ben Coombs. So that's a long time ago. Eleven
Yeah.
eleven to now. Whatever today. Oh, so it's 119.
Yeah, but
11 12.
you're an impatient guy anyway.
I am, huh?
Well, Bo says he doesn't
In
have
some
enough
ways.
fingers. Bo doesn't have enough fingers to count how many of his guitars with trems there are.
Oh wow. Oh, so building a studio, you got to be equipped. A trem, you can always deck it. You can always get by. So it's good to have a lot of guitars with trems. I'm down with that. He just has so many guitars. Doesn't Bo have like the record collection, the biggest collection?
Bo has a good sized collection, but he doesn't have just guitars. He has guitars. He has amps. He has everything.
I have
Rack gear.
1, 2, 3.
So that's why we
4,
can't wait
5.
for him to get his studio Wonderland built, so we can all go on vacation.
That'd be amazing. Oh yeah, and go and record a song or something. That'd be really cool. Yep. What is it about 2011?
I don't know.
I haven't been screwing with pedals, dude. After I got this is just saying to Scott, who says I had pedals, which is probably in response to somebody else talking about tone. But I've just been loving the Spark.
Well, see, that was the other thing I was curious about too. It's like, okay, I've seen the tremolo pedals out there.
Right.
I've never used them, so
Yep.
how so when we compare the whole idea of hardtail, having the tremolo, using the pedal for tremolo, is there what's it like?
So I would say it's almost like doing that on your own versus having something constantly going set to a pace or whatever or a rhythm is I love tremolo on in tone, like when I'm dialing it in, especially if you're playing lonely single chords alone and you want to sound good, dial in reverb and tremolo and play slow and you're going to sound cool. Whoa.
This is
Scott
my
is
favorite.
200 pedals?
This is my favorite comment. I think Bo is actually the president of Sweetwater, and we're all in an episode of Bosses in Disguise. I love it. Welcome in, Sadie Lamp Duo.
What is happening?
And he says he only has the Les Paul with a tremolo.
Oh, wow. Is it one of the FR, whatever? The dyslexic tremolos that no one can remember the way that the letters go? The XRF?
So Scott, you're right. Scott said 200 pedals.
200 pedals.
How many of them are duplicates?
Probably one or two are the ones that you feel like if they break, you're going to be left out in the cold. Some of the tone crackheads like
Well,
have to have
and since he
their
repairs
pedal.
pedals, how many are not? How many, how many more pedals are there that are not whole? Right, that are in various stages of
Oh,
reconstruction.
well, that's great if you're rebuilding them. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Scott, he says a few that he modded. Yep.
Yeah. So BC Rich has a Bigsby on his Epi Back Beauty, if that counts. Oh yeah, it certainly does. Certainly
Yeah.
does.
I was thinking of maybe trying to contact LPD and see if he'd make me a custom Presley pedal that just makes you just a little bit out of tune, no
Yeah.
matter what you do. That's a Presley pedal.
Yeah, and our buddy Dwight Bailey does have a certainly awesome collection. I'm just saying.
Dwight Bailey does too.
Oh yeah, Dwight Bailey has an awesome collection of guitars. It would break your heart to show to see them all go by.
Damn. We should be watching that video. Oh, are you ready, Charles? We have to say thank you to the most recent Presley, California customs buyer.
All right.
That was. Let's show. Can I present this real quick?
Yep.
Let's see if. So hopefully it doesn't crash me. Let's just see here. Share screen. Do this. Okay. I'm gonna keep it. Should I keep it silenced? But I'm gonna hit skip. You guys are all seeing that?
Yeah, you might want to click that. No thanks. It's covering up your picture.
No thanks. Yeah, no thanks. There it goes. All right. So now I come back. So this is the newest. It's Kevin is his name. He's got Kevin's hats and guitars. And he was in the chat earlier. He might not be around. People got things to do. But he was a Presley, California customs buyer, and he did a video. This was his video to, when he received the guitar. And he didn't. It was not a complaint video or a request to return, which is amazing. He loved it. It's a fantastic guitar. I would have bought it back. Actually, for the price that he probably got that guitar for, it was a freaking gift. Look at the action on that. I hadn't touched it in a while. I was a little bit worried, right? When you haven't touched a guitar in 7 or 8 months, and you're like, it's been all over the country, but that's a quarter sawn.
I really like this one. I remember when this one was being built.
Right, quarter sawn maple neck, and he was just really stoked on the body. The bodies are great, the bodies are a great deal. Here's the thing: if it's the first time you ever done a build like this, you're just going to need a bunch of little tools to be able to get it right? Because if not, you're going to have problems putting in the ferrules in the back of the guitar and doing. So he was shredding, dude. Kevin was doing pretty good. I'm just not playing it because. Should we play some of it? Should I go over to that? How do I go over there?
If you'd like, go ahead. What was the worst thing to do?
I removed it. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to do that, but I just removed. If everybody's all upset, but I'll go back to it. But anyway, my bad. But dude, Kevin, thank you so much. Enjoy the guitar. You basically got that guitar at a fantastic deal, so you are stoked. Those pickups were a gift. I think, yeah, those were pickups that I got. No, they weren't a gift, but they were pickups that I got when I working for Joe Zahn. And so it was kind of like, they're really good. I think they were Lawlers. But pickups matter, right, Charles?
Yeah, they certainly do. The right pickup is in the right guitar is a thing of beauty. But if you can't play it anyway, it doesn't really matter.
I want 2 kinds of pickups this year. That I want. That's like a goal of me to put in. I want to build Les Paul Juniors with 2. What are the Black Waters? What's the name of the ones that they got that Phil McKnight makes?
Blackstock.
Blackstocks. So I want a Blackstock P90, and then I also want a Dylan P90.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna keep both the guitars because I'm just gonna keep them for me because they're inexpensive to build.
Dylan will be the first one to tell you he makes the best P90 in the world. And so
there you go.
I can't tell you how good his P90s are, but I will tell you his flat 6 telly pickups are awesome.
Okay. Well, it'll be awesome to put it in a guitar and just have it scream for me. I'd like to. I do like Dylan talk tones. You know, he's cool. He's got a bunch of cool knives. He's got some kind of cool watches. He's got some impressive wrist jewelry. The way that he goes cross country and lived like that, just on on the tone journey, is awesome, dude. That was great to see. Kind of jealous of that whole thing.
You know,
anyway.
But kind of coming back to our topic a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here because I've been thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, like I said, on this track, I don't care to use a tremolo, right? Telly, I don't care. Gretsch,
Telly
you gotta have it. It's just there, right?
Telly is a no.
But then I think about folks like Ryan and using the trans trem, but that's a different. It's a tremolo, but it does something really different and really cool.
His playing is on a whole different level, right? It is a part of the expressive tool. You couldn't even make a lot of the sounds happen without, because he's sliding in and out of different keys.
Exactly.
What was it? Summer Nights that he played the other day. Summer Nights. How many? Is Ryan even here anymore?
I know people have. I don't know if he is. I haven't seen him in a while.
If he went away, I get it.
Earlier.
But if he's still around, tell me how many keys are in that song. There's 3 keys before it goes into the actual part of the song. I think it starts dropped way low in something, and then it comes up to like D. I don't know. He would know. But yeah, how would you do that without a trans trem as a guitarist? You can do it as a bassist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that you can't drop keys like that. Like, that's crazy. That's why it's a whole new tool. That's like using AI. It's unfair, dude. Actually, they may be coming for you, Ryan, to take your trans trems. I'm just kidding. They're not going to do that.
So, Unbelievable says he can tell you that Phil's humbuckers are awesome. He put the humbuckers in his PRSSE for him.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's amazing. So I think that's one of my goals, is just to go ahead and order them. Just get
Welcome in, Cushman NYC. Made it to the party.
This is the daytime. As nighttime, I'm drinking. It's raining so hard here, Charles. It's crazy.
God, what am I going to do with you?
Well, I'm just saying, it's just crazy rain.
But going back, I mean, see that, I can really admire the trans trem just because it can go into different keys. I can really admire Ryan because he has command of that thing, right? It's like,
oh yeah, hell yeah.
But to me, it's like that is like a trem with a purpose. It actually, he is an integrated part of his playing, right? And
exactly, it's absolutely part of the expression, and he's able to seamlessly move it in. Like, I couldn't tell when he was he has a capo truck, a trick capo trick.
Glad you're feeling better.
Having a capo truck would be awesome.
Capo truck.
Right? But no, I hear what you're saying. I hate typing. Are you using your phone? Or either way. Wait, hold on.
Sounds good.
No, so I was just thinking about how would I use a trem if I was sitting down and somebody said, "Hey, play a little bit of song with a trem," right? What would I do? So, first of all, what I should do is get a damn top for my switch. But anyway. Oh, you know what I need? That.
More reverb.
So you hear the difference? Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
but it's just there. It's just
No, obviously not. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you as a builder. If you're putting a trem on a guitar, do you have a preference as to which trem to put on?
Well, I like quality, like Wilkinson. I would definitely do Vega Trem. I've done them before. They're amazing. They're Vega Trem, if you know how to use it and you know how to take it out to change the strings, is it's expensive, but it's so worth it. It's just really a great product. I would do those I would do those all day long if they were $150, but they're not. They're $300 plus shipping plus whatever else. It's too much. No, take your Vega Trem and keep it.
Well, here's the thing that kind of confused me about the Vega Trem, because my understanding was with a tremolo system, you wanted a thicker block, right? Because that's the big complaint about like the blocks that are on the Squires, that they're all the thin pop metal ones and they don't have enough weight and balance to them and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then watching videos of people installing the Vega Trems, it seems to me like that block is really thin and really small.
Well, it's only really small for a small portion of it. Like it goes for about an inch and then it expands to be considerably thick. And also you have to consider that that is a trem that's built on a fulcrum system. So it's like a knife edge that's sitting into a pocket that's like a V, right? So you got a V and you have a knife edge sitting in there and then it pivots like that. So, it's how connected to the body is it really? You know what I mean? Like, the sustain is what the sustain. I think they're great. I don't know. I just think they're too expensive. They need, like, it's weird. Like, no one else needs to drop their prices, really. But, I mean, and I like Vega Trem, so it's hard to say that to them. But it's like, Vega Trem, come on. We're not rich. That's why you haven't sold a lot more Vega Trems, because your product is freaking killer. But if it was $150, it's just $150 out of my range.
Okay, so when you have a 2-point trem and a 6-screw trem, which do you prefer using out of those?
I prefer a 6-point trem just because I'm OG old guy, and most of my guitars have been 6-point, but 2-point are probably more stable. But they wear out, right? You'll get the 2 points on the trem block that'll wear over time. Happens on Ibanez, because people that keep Ibanez and play the hell out of it because they're great guitars, they play the frets off them. That happens too, is that those trems start to wear those little knife edges on the actual spots on the block block that are going in. Those become no good, and then it's just get a new trem. You know what I mean?
Well, what about the chat? What kind of trems do you folks prefer? What are your go-tos?
Oh, Sadie Lampdua said that chorus sounds great. You know what?
Yeah,
Sadie
I had
Lampdua?
that. I highlighted that while you were pontificating.
Oh,
So.
I'm sorry. Part of it, I'll say, Sadie, is these are Bartolini active pickups that I have going on the active cycle, and so they're kind of thin, but they pick up the. Yeah, see, Terry agrees, brother man.
He does. They need to cut it down to 129.
Here's the thing, Terry, yes. If they did it, so here's the thing. If you're a company like that, you could do the occasional sales to test, run your numbers. It's like a restaurant. When you have a happy hour, you got to run your numbers to see, well, how many drinks do I need to sell at this $6 to make as much as I would if I'm selling them for 10 during the happy hour? I need it to be that much more busy. So do the same thing with your tremolos. Run a special, run them for what's going to make, and give it to us for $150. The knife.
Yeah, Jimmy says those knife plates are replaceable on the Ibanez bridges. So
The knife plates are replaceable on the actual bridge itself? No. Are they? No. Oh, they're not replaceable, but I bet that you could file them sharp again. But that would be a little bit weird. I'd just get a new trim. But are you
Well,
saying
do they script? I don't
you
know.
would
Maybe
file them
it's
sharp again?
screw
Is all
on.
you would do is if they were completely dull and bent in, you could file them sharp. But I've seen them, and I would just talk to the customer. And it's going to take me, oh God, what would I say to sharpen those edges
Well, I'm gonna.
perfectly? Yeah, I would charge you $150, $200. And how much is a brand new trim? Right. So if you were stuck on keeping your trim that you wanted from the OG guitar, which I get, which is why we would offer to scrape them, but then you're gonna have to worry about your intonation a little bit because you're taking that point in a little bit from where it was because you're making it sharp again.
Jimmy says they are replaceable.
Wow. All right.
He's probably done, and given the way that Jimmy plays,
Jimmy does play.
I bet you he's had to do it.
Does Jimmy talk about Jimmy in second person? Does Jimmy
No.
say Jimmy Jimmy knows what Jim is doing? All right. Jimmy's sitting there right now saying, Jimmy doesn't like this. Jimmy, these guys are making Jimmy mad. Jimmy's about to drive to California and find James Hetfield and come and kick Seth's ass. Don't do that, guys. Come hang out. I know James Hetfield lurking again. Come hang out, dude, because yeah. That's why. Isn't that a good reason, Charles?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So who watches Seinfeld too much? I do.
I think that's what he's saying.
I have watched a lot of Seinfeld in my day. Oh, holy! You know what the problem is with YouTube? Some of the time,
No, wait, stop right there. Turn, read.
Jimmy, what? Jimmy has and replaced an. Oh, okay, I get you, Jimmy. I know, dude. Props. See and replaced. Yes, he resharpened them, which is exactly what we said we would have did. Which means me and Jimmy just became best friends, and you're moving in now. We're building bunk beds, so it's cool. All right, there's like gonna be plenty of room for activities. Yeah, no soup for you. No soup for you.
Oh, this one's better.
Jimmy likes Elaine. Yeah. Here's the thing. I didn't have a cool name. I was not born an Evan or a Parker or or Ross. I was born freaking Seth. I was lucky that I got Presley because Presley's pretty cool. You can't even, get teased a little bit. But I'll say Presley's better than a lot of last names. But Seth is not a cool name.
Well, how about this? If you get a guitar and it has this tremolo on it,
What trim?
let me finish.
All right,
okay?
I'm sorry. ADD.
Do you
Shiny
feel?
object.
You get a guitar and it has this particular tremolo on it.
Okay.
Which tremolos make you feel like you need to replace them immediately?
Oh, what needs to be replaced immediately?
Yeah. So what tremolo, if it comes on a guitar that you get that you're like, yeah, you're out of here, buddy.
That's a tough one, Charles, because I often nowadays I won't even buy a guitar. If it's a project, I'm like, I got projects. I'm not buying that freaking thing. I have to put a new tremolo in that thing. Screw that. I just build a new guitar from scratch, right? That's how I feel now. But I'm trying to think, did I ever buy a guitar? I have never purchased a guitar that I remember and swapped out the tremolo because I hated it that much. What I have done is as a kid, and you might have done this, I always did blocks of wood. My dad had calipers, and I would make use the calipers to see exactly the distance that I needed. And I would make a little, it started out with a stack of nickels and then put a little tape around it. But then I would actually do a block of wood because I wanted it solid in there and glue it in. Or maybe my dad saw the block of nickels and was like, you can't do that janky. You need to do it right. But
See,
yeah,
we could
avoiding
be
the
having
answer.
Murphy here, right?
Hold on.
If he
What
buys a guitar with
the
a Floyd
politics?
special, he's
Can I
gonna.
enter politics? Oh my God. So I was having a discussion on politics today, Charles, with a kid. And he was asking me all about Republicans. He was literally asking, I was trying to show him a speech on Martin Luther King, right? And because he said he'd never seen the I Have a Dream speech, he's supposed to do a report. I was like, "You never seen the speech? You got it." So I was trying to show him the whole speech from the beginning. And then, yeah, he was asking what's a Republican and what's a Democrat. And that's difficult, man. That's difficult to explain to kids. I would enter politics, but it stresses me out. And I just want cold snacks and to hang out here with Sherman. I don't know. I think I'm worried about Presley, Charles. I'm worried
Oh,
about this guy.
trust
Can
me,
you call
I
Betty
am
Ford?
way past worrying. Yeah, I am way past worrying.
It's been a worry long. I've been on some lists for a while. You ain't never had the feds investigate you. You ain't never had the bad girls try to date you.
Like
You a
apparently,
bad girl. Daddy gotta spank you. You ain't seen that dude with the shuffle? Sorry, that guy's.
now I can talk. You see, because I muted his mic, I stopped him in his tracks. No, but I'm going to get to this. I'm going to make this point. Damn it! It's the whole point of the show. So Rico B says, if you get a guitar with a Floyd special, you replace it with an OG Floyd. And Jimmy Biter is chiming right in there by saying, if Floyd was special, it gets replaced with a Goto 1996 T every time. Okay. Now, Steph, if you're going to behave yourself, you can unmute.
I will not behave myself. God damn it! It's a popular thing on YouTube. It's like it says, "You ain't never had the feds investigate you. You ain't never had the bad girl try to date you. You a bad girl. Daddy gotta spank you." And I forget what the last rhyme is, but then the guy's doing the dance with the cowboy hat. Very, very entertaining. Billions of people have liked this, Charles. You're not. I've had the feds investigate you. I've had the feds investigate me. You know what they said, Charles? They said I lived the best life ever because I was going hang gliding every day. They were like, "What? We can't believe that this is your job." I used to work at a pot club.
Hello, Dwight Bailey. I hope you're taking really good care of my guild. I really hope you are.
What do you think? Trem or no trem?
Yeah, Dwight, give us a scoop. Trem or no trem? What do you think? And
Yeah,
what
because
kind of trem if you're going with a trem?
Vega Trem. You're going with a Trem. $150 Vega Trem, y'all. They're on sale now. You just have to go to the website and complain. We need to start. Some Trems are hard to upgrade and replace. Yes, the Floyd. Yep, 6-hole Fender limited options. Vega Trem's one of the options, but it's an expensive one, right? Mm-hmm. Ibanez. Yeah, that is very true. All real talk. Real talk from a guy who's been in the place of saying, where the hell do I get this? Oh, this is terrible. I can't replace these parts. But then you just have to get in there like our other homie and file it sharp again. Right? So, yeah. This neck is comfortable. It's just a little bit thick.
Okay,
A little bit.
Dwight Bailey has spoken.
Okay, what do you say?
If you got to go with a trem and you need a Floyd Rose.
Okay. Yep. Dude, I'm saying if you got a Floyd Rose that is dialed in and works good for you and stays in tune, straight up, yes, Floyd Rose is killer. One of my first guitars as a kid. Oh, all right, you do that. All right. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Babix is killer. And then I was gonna say Sadie, Lamp Duo, Trem, yes.
We've been assigned our topic for next week.
Topic for next week: preferred nut, bone, tusk, locking, or something else. Referee nut. Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit crazy, and sometimes I get passionate. I go in to go overboard. But you know what I mean? It's not my fault that the pyramids in Egypt are actually 12,000 years old. What? Yeah, you didn't even think what? Okay, and that the pharaohs were like, "Oh, check this out! Check out what we built. They built what we found.
Oh my, Terry. Oh my.
Don't tell them, but we found these pyramids. All right, we found them." And they're like, "Look what we found." What? Dwight is just showing up. Well, we got 5 minutes to enjoy the
We've been
tone.
here a little bit, so we can. Play something. So I need a moment.
We're gonna do a little bit of trimming. Hold on, let's trim. Let's trim.
You're gonna trim?
Grab your Bigsby.
No, I am not picking anything up. I can barely talk right now.
Oh, we heard it ping in the net. A little bit. Oh, we should talk about resetting on a Strat Trem. That's a thing that some people don't know about. Everybody knows about resetting on your Strat Trem. Do you know about that, Charles?
No, why don't you go ahead and educate me?
So, if you end up diving down a lot and using your trem a lot on a Strat, going crazy, after you do all that, pull it up. Go. Right? Just pull it up and let it go back. Because springs like to find their tension as they're loosening, not as they're tight, right? You pull them tight and then let them loosen, and they'll stay in a better orientation. Or at least that's what the master taught me back in the day when I was snatching the pebble from his hand. What's your favorite chord, Charles?
My favorite two chords are the C and the G.
Oh yeah, Quentin James is going to send me some pics. Then I'll finally be able to play, hopefully a little bit better, because they're magical and they're coated in LSD, which will help me connect with the pharaohs from 12,000 years ago. Because I'm hoping to do a little bit of freaky psychedelics.
Well,
That's what
has a question for you, bud.
What? When you use a
micro tilt to fix the trim and nut.
Even when I have a micro tilt, I don't really like to use it because I feel like I don't want the angle of my neck set by pushing a little tiny screw to create. I would just create a solid shim is what I and I have a micro tilt on my number one Strat, but that Strat is fantastic. I have never had to use it, but I don't know if
is there a situation in which you would want to do that though?
To fix the trem and nut? No, a micro tilt is only something I would use to fix the action height, right? The action height is gonna kick the angle a little bit, but the trem and the nut, if it's cut correctly and you put a little bit of that lube on it, you should be good to go. But it's not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, but oh yeah, he's uploading a video that he said he edited. That's killer. What's hilarious, Charles, is that this dude with 15,000 subscribers and like a substantial hat and guitar YouTube channel, I'm so glad that he bought a guitar because it's a fantastic guitar. There's no denying that. But like I did get up to 167, and I think YouTube is about to send me the aluminum foil award for 170. We'll see if we can get to 170 and we get the aluminum foil.
Oh, it's going to be fun at Quentin's house. He's changing the pickups in the Schecter, and the JB doesn't sit right in there, so he's breaking out the Dremel.
Right. Is he just to bump it a little bit? Right. I've had to do that to get humbuckers into a strap body. They just didn't quite want to go, and they're big, powerful humbuckers. That's a thing. Yep. So, hey, what do you got this week? Are you doing a chatting?
We're doing a chatting with Charles.
Yes.
The guest to be revealed later because I don't have one right now.
Oh, all right.
I have been lazy this week. And I need to send out communications here.
Send a couple emails. I mean, what would be cool is maybe someday you get Kevin on there from Hats and Guitars.
Yeah, that would be cool.
15,000 followers that were watching his deal. It'd be neat to learn a little bit. I like people, but here's the thing about guns and guitars. I don't really like guns and guitars because I never really have been into guns. I've always kind of been anti-guns, just the way I was raised. It's nothing against guns. I shot guns as a little kid with my dad in Maine, but here in California, it was always don't have guns. So guns and guitars, I never really watched, but I'm familiar with it. And I like the two things. Like Dylan Talks Tone could have knives and guitars, or what else does he like? He likes watches and guitars, or you know what I mean? Just very Quentin James, I want to thank you for reaching out, dude. You're very kind and very cool. I appreciate you, and you're a shredder. And that's his actual hand, which is kind of weird. It's deformed, and we try not to like make fun of people that are just, it's handy capable is what we call it, and he's a very handy capable person. It's obvious from that finger spread that he's got going on there. So, chatting with Charles. Charles, please forgive me. I need to be doing a chatting with Charles.
I'd love to do a chatting with Charles with Bo. That'd be great.
I mean, I need to do a theme song for you.
Yeah.
But it's got to be like we're chatting with Charles. We're chatting with Charles. I don't know. Or what do you want? You want rock theme song? Do you want country theme song? For chatting with Charles? What are you feeling for chatting?
Something bluesy.
Ooh, all right. I'll try to work on it. You know what we'll do is we'll work on it on playing some Presleys. And I want to do more incorporating of playing videos like we did tonight. We showed a little bit of the clip from Kevin's channel. That would be fun.
We're definitely going to be doing a chat with Dwight Bailey, but we're going to have to do it on a Guitar Safari night because Dwight Bailey, he's got a gig on Sundays. He's playing for the Lord. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. Well, dude, praise bands, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said last week, praise bands have the best drum tone. Every time when I hear a praise band, I'm like, holy shit, would you listen to those drums? Are sick. And the Lord provides. The Lord provides when it comes to drum tone. I'm just saying. Like, it is the deal. Gets me involved, gets me religious. So, wait, hold on, BC Rich. That sounds really difficult to do.
Oh my. Yeah, we could do a chatting with Trev. I need to reach out to some folks. I have several folks that have been kind to say, hey, anytime you want me to come on, we'll come in and do that. Yeah, Terry would be a fun one to do as well.
I could try to get, I have some friends that are in the industry that could also come on and chat with you. But I mean, we want to keep it in the community. They're more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, my problem is, I knew I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna have a show last week, and then I just kind of put it off. Right. I've got so many. I have had so many other things going work related that didn't want to do it.
I had no idea that the Buffalo meeting was going during the playing with Presley's, and I was a little bit lonely. So I get it, right? It was like, but I want to say thank you. And I think Dave Chase, there was like 5 people there, and that's.
And I will tell anyone, I went back and I watched, as soon as I went back and I watched the replay, it was a great show. Y'all missed something. Just so
No, not
go
missing
back.
anything. I mean, not that you're not missing anything. It's fun, but if you do miss it and you want to come back and watch it later, that's cool too. What's
We
so
love you anyway.
hilarious is that the out of all of the views on my channel, for instance, because I'm a small channel, 167 subscribers, are all coming from little clips that I'll take that are out of this show that are funny. Usually when you're telling me to shut up. Like I know when to do it when and I'm so sorry, Charles, but you're like my best buddy. So when I hear you sigh, I'm like, "Oh, I need to do a clip cuz Charles just sighed. I probably said something terrible." But he's like, "Ah, well, he won't shut up." But tonight we got the you muted me. That's gold, right? That's internet gold.
I
So
knew
you
that was
got to
going to be a clip the minute I did it. I was just like, oh, he's going to do this. I know
That's
that.
great. It's so good. So, but I got to tell you, can we leave with something that it's like a joke that I wrote this week? I wrote this joke and it's
Sadie,
fantastic.
we're definitely going to be working on that. Sundays are a
Yeah.
little bit tough for Doc, but we'll see what we can do.
So I took a test this week. I took a test. It was on the second letter of the alphabet. I got a B.
Yeah. Just show off, Ben. Show off.
What the heck? This Sunday? Well, he does nighttime Sunday, which is completely
Yes,
different than daytime.
which is different because no, Doc has a busy schedule on Sundays, and so
There's difference between coffee and weed and weed, which
there you go.
yeah, you know. Hey, so I gotta go and enjoy my marriage.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, folks. Well, thank you for another great week.
man.
We
We gotta say we gotta say to all these people how
Yeah.
much we appreciate you hanging out. Ben International. Who else? Well, I'm gonna scroll back here. Hold on. Ben International. Sadie. Mikey. Michael. Terry. Uneffing believable. Dwight. Quentin. Paul. I just hit my mic. Herb. Jimmy. Dude, all of you people that actually a lot of you are trolling, aren't you? But anyway, dude, it's amazing to have all you cool peeps in the chat hanging out with us, having a good night on Friday night. Do some of you guys just get done with the
Billy, welcome in, Billy.
that's
We're getting ready to go off.
oh shit, it's over. Dude, Billy's like again, the replay, 32.7% fun here because of Charles. This guy.
All right. Well, with all that, thank you everyone for joining us once again for
Wait,
Guitar
unfucking
Safari.
believable. Wait. One more question from unfucking believable for Seth.
Go ahead, pull it up there and put it on there.
Well, he says we're waiting for him to type it. For Seth, he. Hey, all right, we're waiting for the question. It's gonna be something humiliating. Oh, Kirsch, man. I know I won't shut up. I know. Here's the thing. Eventually, we are going to have a unit installed where there's going to be a stun device in my earpiece that Charles will have a button for. And I'll be like, "Wah!" And I'll be all zapped every time he. How's the Geo running? All right. That's a great question. So, because I believe that the pharaohs from 12,000 years ago, before the other pharaohs, right, in Egypt, wanted me to park the Geo facing true north for the equinoxial sunrise. So what I did is I took it down to school where I got a parking spot number 255 for Presley. So I put it in my parking spot there, and I haven't started in 2 weeks, but I did disconnect the battery so that hopefully when I go back, if I scrape the battery terminals, it'll have enough juice to get it. Oh shit, my wife is hungry and she wants to have dinner, and I'm 9 minutes over. And I'm talking about the Geo. God damn it, I'm in trouble, Charles. Whew. Bumped his head prior to the show. Yes, well, Sarah will tell you that I wear a rose gold helmet on my way home from school. That Presley, is that your wife's helmet? And I'm like, no, I got the helmet for free when I bought the bike. But anyway, so I answered the question. The Geo's running great. Actually, it started last time I started it. So once I got the battery charged and I drove it down there, but I still don't. Fourth gear pops out. You got to hold it in fourth gear. But other than that, it's a machine.
Oh my.
Oh, and tonight Charles did some editing on the song that everybody watches. We see the numbers as you guys, and you all stay to listen to the song because you love us.
I appreciate that. With that, have a great week. I will see those folks that come to Chatting with Charles on Sunday.
Go to Chatting with Charles. If you don't, you're crazy. You're stupid. You're crazy.
Huh?
Why would you do that?
Come on, people. Charles and me. About to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone. 'Cause it's about to go down. One volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me. We're about to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer and turn on